Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
Southeast Radio.
Welcome back to Southeast Radio's Business Matters with me, Karl Fitzpatrick. I'm now joined on the line by a resident economist, Marc Coleman. Marc, the CSO reported this week that the gross profits made by corporations based in Ireland neared €300 billion in 2022. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, Karl, these figures are staggering. They're absolutely staggering. And they're not a flash in the pan, although the level of corporate profitability has increased. It's been growing for 5 years steadily, largely, in my view, because of Brexit. Brexit has created a snowball effect of massive companies coming here and increasingly trading with and off each other and into the world market. Ireland's advantage, not just as a low corporation tax country, but as a common law country, and its proximity to the US economically, to Britain and Europe, has created what I would call a virtuous circle, but it's now becoming so virtuous that it may be a case of becoming too successful. The gross profits made by all of the companies in Ireland were nearly equal to the size of the domestic economy. That is astounding. Karl, we are taxing profitability at 12.5%, okay? In corporation taxes last year, we took about 22 billion. A modest increase, and I mean a modest increase in corporation tax of just a couple of percentage points, would greatly, greatly reduce the need of government to tax income. And it would greatly reduce by a significant proportion the government's need to get 30.7 billion off the PAYE worker. If we were at corporation tax rates that were even close to our competitors, you would say, no, don't do that, because if we increase corporation tax rates, we might lose a lot of activities. And I would share that concern. The UK rate is now 26%. The American rate is at that or slightly higher maybe. Our rate is 12.5%. Am I arguing for an increase in corporation tax? I'm not making that case here, Karl, but what I'm saying is on the strength of these numbers, on a gross profit level that is nearly 300 billion last year, the corporate tax take from that was just 18 billion. The income tax burden is a much, much bigger burden on the domestic economy compared to the income tax is as a burden of the multinational economy. And let me finish with a figure that I think really helps bring all of this together. When you break down the profits from domestic and foreign companies, of the profits I quoted for the final quarter, 70.2 billion were from foreign multinationals. Only 9.6 billion were from domestic companies. The burden on the domestic economy is absolutely crushing, as is the burden of regulation, which is another hidden form of tax. But the multinational sector is making enormous profits. Good luck to it. God bless it. I welcome that success. But we really now need to look not only at the benefits, the undoubted benefits the multinational sector bring, but we have got to look at the massive costs and congestion pressures, and also the imbalance and the inequity that this is bringing now, as the very highly paid multinational jet-setting sector comes into conflict with the domestic SME sector that is increasingly priced out of housing markets, energy markets, cannot afford insurance costs, SMEs going to the wall because they cannot get funding. I look at these numbers and I see a situation that is economically and politically unsustainable.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was our resident economist, Marc Coleman. And Marc will be back again next Saturday morning with more insights into economic matters.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.